Hello and welcome to the third episode of the Chronicles of Demeron podcast. My name is Chris, and we're going to be talking about Keldri Velulas today. He's a very notable NPC in my world, but this is going to be a slightly different episode of the podcast. I don't have someone else here asking questions because this episode will contain spoilers for my campaigns. This is now a warning. If you're playing in one of my campaigns or intending to play in one of my campaigns, please stop now. Do not listen to the rest of this, or this will contain potential spoilers for the story as things go along. But again, I want to thank you very much for clicking on this episode and listening. If you enjoy it, please drop a like, subscribe if you want, but also don't if you don't feel like it. I don't want to force you. So yeah. Also, other slight format, this is going to be told more in a story format as it is to just like overview. So yeah, be prepared for that. But again, thank you for listening, and on with the episode. This story takes place in the Cobalt Well in Curon. One dark night, archivist Elric Lee Gallo, the head archivist in the Cobalt Well, was on his way back to his office just to finish up a little bit of research that he was doing. And he sat down at his desk and he noticed a paper that wasn't there before. It was a small note, and it simply said, "You have my permission," signed Keldri Velulas. Elric, having previously asked Keldri if he could write a small excerpt on Keldri just so they had information, because that's what the Cobalt Soul was known to do, was to gather information. It was what their purpose was. And so Keldri, finally giving him permission, Elric pulled out a piece of paper and a feather quill and began to write what he knew about Keldri. Keldri was born in a small village during the reign of Brindam. The name of the village has been lost, but what is known about that is Arcanus now sits where it once was. Keldri grew up an orphan and a reject in a very tight-knit town, and at a young age he discovered the weave. He began to manipulate it and invent his first magic. The villagers were scared of this and attempted to burn him at the stake as if he was a witch. But he escaped them, ran out of the town, and to the far side of the island. There he constructed a small hut and began to experiment with the arcane arts. In several years, Keldri returned to the village and demanded they open up and allow contact to the world, or he would make it so. The villagers did not care or listen, and so Keldri destroyed the town. Keldri began to construct his academy as the centerpiece of his new city of Arcanus, a safe haven for anyone gifted or interested in learning arcane magic. During these years, Keldri began to train people to the point where they could train other people. And once his students were at this level, he isolated himself. He began to experiment with the spells that he had made and classify them into the modern-day schools of magic. As the academy continued to grow, Keldri took some time to travel the Outer Planes, and using some time dilation as well as allies he had made on the Feywild, Keldri traveled to the Outer Planes for an unknown number of years. It is not known when he returned, but he was around for the fights of the Second Calamity. While on the Outer Planes, he met with several Archfey. He befriended the Seelie Court, and he also interacted with the Unseelie Court, but he did not befriend those. He mapped out Strahd's castle in the Shadowfell. Keldri sat in on the courts of the Citadel of 10,000 Pearls, traversed the labyrinths of winds to Akka, gambled in the City of Brass, and purchased gems from the City of Jewels. Keldri had also climbed to the seven heavens of Mount Celestia and eaten fruit from the blessed fields of Elysium. He had shared a night of drinking with the giants in Isgard, and he even explored the several layers of the abyss. But his most proud achievement would be outwitting several fiends, including Glazia, archdevil of the Sixth Layer and daughter of Asmodeus, earning the ire of the Lord of the Hells. He has also traveled to the other planes, and he claims to have a conversation with all of the deities in their home realms, excluding Tharizdun. But he is yet to reveal tales from those travels. When he returned to the material plane, he founded the White Lotus alongside Tekar Malish for the purpose of protecting Demeron from the many extraplanar threats he had discovered. Despite being one of the founding members, Keldri was never allowed onto the Council of the White Lotus. He spent so much time off of the material plane that none of them fully trust him. So instead, Keldri Velulas found and led the first Leaves of the Lotus, a special task force designated to travel to the Outer Planes and deal with extraplanar threats and beings before any danger comes to the material plane. It was on that team that he met and formed a friendship with Elric Lee Gallo of the Cobalt Soul. They have both since stepped down from the team and appointed new members to take their place. Keldri has moved on to working at the academy, conducting more experiments. He has also spent time inventing a new tradition of practicing magic in more recent years. Legends say that Keldri is the only mortal being to glimpse into the far realm and not go immediately insane. It is rumored that it is the very reason he never sleeps anymore. Some also say that it proves that he is not a mortal being and is instead something far more powerful than he pretends to be. But these are just rumors that have yet to be confirmed or debunked by Keldri. After this, Elric signed the paper, marked the date, stuck it in a file, and put it up on a shelf, knowing that Keldri's legacy, no matter how long he lasts, his legacy will last far longer in the halls of the Cobalt Well.